Let's talk about how to see eye to eye to get your relationship goals. Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here. Welcome to day 2122 of What You Up To Now, documenting the journey originally as I transitioned from the brick and mortar corporate real world of business to the online world of business, and then back and forth again with the pandemic. And following the pandemic, I realized, and I knew that before, but I really, it hit home how important it is to have multiple streams of income and our feet in both worlds, both the online and the offline world. Offline world got shut down for many businesses and industries, and those that really thrived and were successful during that period of time found a way to offer their products and services remotely to still reach people, even though they couldn't have people come in and eat at their restaurant, for instance. There's literally thousands and thousands of examples of people that had to pivot and tweak and change what they were doing and how they were doing it in order to continue to grow and build and supersize their businesses. Those were the positive outcomes of the COVID pandemic. There are, of course, far more negative and people that lost out and bad stories, but I like to focus on the good things that happened. So our topic for Supersize Your Business today was obviously to see eye to eye. And this is one of the old idioms. It comes from the Bible, Isaiah 52:8, I believe. Yes. And it talks about how when we see eye to eye, then the Lord will appear in Zion again, or something to that effect. But the point is, it just means agreement. When we see eye to eye with someone, which has a lot to do with our relationships, we agree about something. Now, you don't have to agree about everything in a relationship, but you got to agree about the relationship and key expectations and factors in the relationship in order for it to work and survive and thrive, and be a healthy relationship. We're all in relationships. Whether they're healthy or not is another story, right? I've been involved in healthy and unhealthy relationships. And guess what? Healthy ones are a whole lot more fun than unhealthy relationships. So we did a review for our Get Your Goals annual challenge today, and we talked about all the different topics we talked about with respect to the life framework area and aspect, the relationship life framework area and aspect of our life framework. This is a life framework that I use and I've taught for a couple of years now, since 2021. And prior to that, I just had a 7-part life framework, which I learned from Tony Robbins and Jim Rohn: physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, financial, relationships, contribution. And then in 2021, I got some coaching and was participating in a coaching program that had to do with skills, like core skills and things that we can apply to different areas and aspects of our life in order to reinforce the areas of the life framework. And the two that I picked out of that I thought were most beneficial were communication and confidence. And if we work on those all the time, they underpin and support and bring up all the other areas and aspects of our life. So I thought those were excellent ones to add to my life framework. So now I have a 9-part life framework that I use and teach and share, because I teach what I do, right? I teach from my experiences, the good, the bad, and the ugly, what works for me, what doesn't. Now, just because something didn't work for me doesn't mean it won't work for you. Just because we're all different, right? There's certain things with respect to marketing and different areas of business functions that just feel icky to me, so I'm not going to do them. It's why I choose different groups of people to work with. I want to work with people that want to work with me, that are going my way. I don't want to struggle and try to market to people that aren't interested in what I have to offer. If I have to beg someone to do business with me, guess what? They are not anyone I want to do business with. And that's same is true of a relationship. If I have to beg someone or chase after somebody to be in a relationship with me, that's not a relationship I want to participate in. When we actually used to see it in the real world, but now we see it in social media in a way that's really interesting and fascinating to me. It's when anybody messages or wants to friend me, and I friend them back, and we have a couple of conversations, and all of a sudden they get needy, and why didn't you answer my post immediately? Bye. I mean, come on. It's an unhealthy expectation relationship. And with social media, how do you even know that the person behind the persona that they're portraying online is even who they really say they are? I think that we have to approach some of this with real skepticism and verify that they are a real person and they are who they say they are. Now, some of us have over 7,000 videos online, so you can pretty much see who the heck I am and how eccentric I am, if you so choose, and if you research and you look into it. And that's why I laugh when these people do this in social media to me, because I'm like, they'll ask questions that I've clearly answered like 1,000 times. And if you don't even watch one or two of my videos, if you don't even look at my profile, if you don't and you're asking me questions that are clearly in the beginning of a profile that I have, that you're on that particular platform, I don't have time for that. I don't know about you, but my life's super duper busy, probably like yours is. I don't have time to answer questions. Where do you live? What do you do for a living? Come on, that's like the laziest questions on the planet. If you aren't interested enough in another person to find that stuff out, or find out what you can prior to asking, and then ask real questions, like, I'd much rather have people say, hey, how can you help me, than what do you do for a living, or what do you stand for? I clearly have spent thousands of hours sharing who I am and what I stand for and what's important to me and how I feel about different topics and subjects. And so it just shows me what kind of person they are. And if shows me how much effort they're going to put into a relationship. And so it shows me how much effort I'm going to put back into that relationship. If they're asking me questions like that, I'll answer a 1 or 2 word response. And if it gets weird, I just stop communicating, because I don't have time for that. I'm, like I said, super duper busy, and I have my own priorities I'm working on. I'm not interested in kowtowing to someone else's priorities, if that makes sense. All right, that's my rant for today. If I can help you in any way, all you have to do is ask. You can reach me at pajamagrandma@gmail.com on the Voxer app. If you don't know what that is, guess what? You can Google it. You can sign up for free. I think it's still free. And you can walkie-talkie me, which is the best way to communicate with me, right? All right, have an awesome day, and I'll, of course, be with you tomorrow. Bye.